Okay everyone, I'm back and I have a little step here because I can't reach the iPad. It's up really high at the moment because this is a 40 by 40 centimeter canvas which I'm going to fill with a background color. Then I'm going to put the blues on, then a little bit more of the white, and I'm going to make a nice little swipe for the background. Like I was saying, I'm going to be transferring a Nautilus shell on top, and I think I have it somewhere here, or maybe I can, I can't find it, but that's what we're going to do. So just making sure that the whole canvas is going to be covered. A little bit more here. Because I am going to, when I do the swipe, I'm going to try and manipulate those cells in sort of a, see if I can get them to swoop a little, swirl. Gotta keep that one there. That's the white with the silicone in it. And this is going to be the last one for today because I want to do some filming with the drone. We have some really pretty, I don't know what you'd call it, but sort of a, it's a protected area and people can only walk there, but you can't do anything else. And I'd like to show some of that to you because it's really pretty. Oops, there's a little bit of gooky. We don't want that in there. Okay. That's pretty much covered the whole canvas here. Now I want to make sure that the sides also have some color in it. Now I'm not sure which one has the silicone in it. I should have put it on the cup. Okay, making sure the sides are also covered in paint, because we don't want any bare canvas sticking out. The corners, that's done nicely, turning it around. That's done, and this side is done. Corner, okie dokie. Nice and smooth. Now, I'm not sure which one has the silicone. I think this one. I hope so. So now I'm going to go and place the colors. And I'm going to pour it out of the cup, but slowly. Yeah, and I gotta keep a little bit of, I gotta watch out what I'm doing because I want it to be totally covered. That's nice. A little bit more of this, the darker blue. That's nice. Coming in with the dark turquoise. Again with the phthalo blue. A little bit more of the light one with the phthalo blue. Ooh, and I can already see there it's going into the white. I kind of like that when that happens. Okay, that's that. Now some more of the white. I'm going to be pouring it all over the place. Very thin lines of titanium white with silicone in it. Now I have mixed this all up with the new Vallejo pouring medium, the normal thickness, because I'm using Winsor & Newton. And in the mix I have a little bit of polymer medium just to thin it out without using too much water. I'll give you a countdown on the mixing in a bit. I'll show you the bottles, but I have to swipe this. So what I'm gonna do is try and do this with a wet paper towel. And now I need a new one because I really like that white up there. Ooh, and I missed a bit. Ah, that's too bad. Now I'll have to do that one too. Okay. I missed the spot there, but that's not a big big thing. Okay, let's come in with our torch. That's okay, but we're not ready yet because I do like, let's see what if it moves. Yeah, it's moving. Let's try to do it diagonal just to give it a little bit more. Okay, I see stuff moving and I kind of like that because it's making different patterns, but I'm not satisfied with how it's looking. So I'm going to come in with a lot of white. Oops, don't fall over. And this one and this one. And I'm giving it a little stir. And I'm gonna come over it with this. Ooh, there wasn't really much in there. I would have loved a little bit more of that. Yep, that is kind of cool. That is nice. And let's do that again because I really like what's happening here. That is really pretty. And you can't see it because I have the whole thing in the picture, but this is pretty big, guys. See my little pinky? This is really big. It's beautiful. And the phthalo blue. And more of the white on top. Let's see if we can get some more white out of it. Because I really like what that white did. Now I don't have enough. Oops. Spattering it all over the table. Okay, that looks good. Gonna swirl it up a little. And let's do this again. Wow, that is beautiful. This is turning out so beautiful. But we're gonna do it the other way. And a little one down here. And I like how it broadened up there, so I'm gonna try and keep that. Okay, not too much. Don't want to tilt too much and lose the beautiful things that are happening here. This I really love. This is beautiful. I am really over the moon with this. Only I see one bit I don't like. Look at that. That is beautiful. Now there's one bit I don't like, and that's this little bit here. So what I'm going to do is come in with my palette knife. That was just a little bit too much of that dark blue, but now it's pretty. I'm going to pull it with my little stick. Make it really go into the background. That is gorgeous. Okay guys, this is it. I like it. This is really like I imagine an underwater scene. You can see down here it's a little bit darker, then when it goes up it becomes a little lighter, so that's something I like. I might have liked it a little bit better if these corners had been, yeah, let's do that. Can do it, still do it now. Just a little bit more of the blue down here. Then a little bit of the white on top of it. And I'm going to do that with my little palette knife. Okay, that's a little bit better, and I need a brush because I'm gonna take some from the table here and cover this up. To tell you the truth, I'm gonna do it with my palette knife. Now, if it's taking too long, guys, I understand that some people say, then don't do that and keep your video short and do speed ups and I don't know what else. But really, what a lot of people need to understand is that I'm doing this because I just like to play with this paint. And I'm just videoing it because a lot of people enjoy watching me do it. And if you don't, you can always use the fast forward button because that's why they made that thing, so you don't have to watch the whole thing if you're not interested. But telling me what to do on my channel, not cool. Not cool at all. So that's that. Oops, a little corner here. Now I'm turning it around because I still see some that is not covered, and I really need it to be the same color as the pour. Otherwise, it it just doesn't really look that cool. And you can then see that you've done something to it. You don't want to do that. Okay, now I've got it all covered. And as you can see, it still worked a little bit, so that worked out really well. I love that band. I love what happened over here. I love this bit. I love everything, so I guess I'm a pretty happy camper at the moment. So, I still have a little bit of paint left over. Shall I just do a few squishes? I will. So this is going to be for the Nautilus, and what I'd like to do on top is with the pigments and the glaze medium, I'm going to do lots of greens because I think the greens will make it all pop. So that's what we're going to do on top of this. I'm going to put this one away. And there's not much drip off, as you can see. Almost nothing. Just a tiny bit. We want some more of that phthalo blue, which we will then move down. That is really pretty. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day. There it is. Okay, we're back in focus. Yes, keeping this one. And I wish I would have made a little bit of green, because if I'm making jewelry, I like to have a little bit of green in there, but we can't do that right now. So, oh, I still have some left in here. Let's see what happens. That is pretty. That is really pretty. Let's stretch him up a little bit. Yeah, it's really missing a contrasting color. See that? It's kind of not getting it in focus. It doesn't want to play with me today. Oh, there it is. It is pretty, but I am missing something that, oh, the lighting is awful. But I am missing sort of a contrast, and that I think that would be better if I had a little bit of green. So I'm going to stop right now, and then I'm going to do maybe another video with just squishes. That might be good. Okay guys, love you all to pieces. Liebe euch alle. Hou voor jullie allemaal. See you in the next one. And there we are again. So I mixed a little bit of green, and when I turned off the video, I realized that I forgot to tell you about the mixing. So let me put this on here, and I'll tell you all about the mixing. Because I know how this stuff explodes, and a lot of people think it's a little bit too much, and that's okay, because a lot of people think it's really cool that it explodes like that. But I'm gonna, ooh, that's pretty. I'm going to tell you how you can get a sort of a grip on that. As you can see, this is not exploding as normal, you know, with just the pouring medium. It's because I added a couple of things, and then it sort of gets, it does explode, but it also contains those cells so they don't disappear. There you go. It's kind of pretty. Okay, everything that I've recently poured, what I do, I use the Vallejo pouring medium, the new one, new formula. So I put paint in my cup, and I add sometimes up to 50% of the pouring medium. Then I put in a little bit of polymer medium. It's also Vallejo, but the label is sort of, but it's just polymer medium, Vallejo. As you can see, it's really thin, so it helps to thin out the paint. Then in here, this is just a water bottle, but there's PVA glue in here, the PVA-C glue, the bookbinder's glue that is archival, and it's acid-free or acid-neutral or whatever you call it. So what I do is I fill a bottle with it for about half, and I do 75% of the PVA and 25% water. Then I shake up the bottle really well. So that's what I use to mix all these Winsor & Newton paints. I put paint in the cup, add up to 50% pouring medium, then a little squirt of the polymer medium, and about 1 tablespoon of the PVA, and that sort of makes the cells pop, but they don't spread too much, and that's what I'm using at the moment. Next week I might be using a whole different mix. As you know, Sometimes I get a lot of questions. Why aren't you using this, or why aren't you using that anymore? The thing is, people, that I like to experiment with everything. And when I'm pouring and I don't like the outcome of the cells, then sometimes I'll just, try to experiment with the mediums I put in the paint to see if I can get a different effect. And that's really all there is to it. It's not that I don't like Floetrol anymore. Floetrol is awesome. It helps level everything out. It helps the movement. And, well, that's just about it. Now I'm going to do a little tiny pour on a piece of paper. So, some nice dark and a lot of this really light turquoise. Yips. And of course, some white. A lot of white. Now, we're going to plop that on there and we're going to make it come out. Ooh, that was kind of fun, what I did there. That is pretty. There it is. Look at that. That is really pretty, but there's a lot of paint. So we're going to make it go all over the place and then torch it again. But this is awesome. Isn't that pretty? That really is pretty. And sort of that little bit of green that makes it all just, look so different. Although I'd really like some of that green going down here. That I sort of like to do too. That would be pretty for a brooch or a pendant. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this one. There's a lot of paint on here, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna dry really good and won't crack. But I might have to just do a little bit about the tiny little air bubbles. But other than that, I'm gonna keep this one. And I still have some more of this. That by itself is already pretty, but we're going to torch it. Ooh, a little bit down there. That is another really pretty one. See that? That is pretty. I'll put this one aside. And I really have to make another because this paint, I'm done with the painting for today, so I'm going to throw it all out. Maybe I could do a push and pull. That might be cool. But then I'd have to save that for tomorrow. This is the lightest. And a little bit more of the white. Twirl it around. And plop it on here. Letting it come down. Oh, these colors are so Caribbean colors. Caribbean, however you want to call them. Just a little bit of cells. Gonna make them really big. See how big they already are. that is really nice. I like this too. Okay guys, this is it. This is it for today. I'm gonna clean up my big mess, and then I'm gonna take a bath, put on some clothes and different clothes, and I'm gonna go and see where I can drive to make a awesome video. All right, see you all later. Love you to pieces.